Hey everybody, I'm Andy the Kenworth Guy. Thanks so much for coming by the channel today. So today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new 2025 W900L with a 42-inch flat top sleeper. This is an old school setup. I would call this the perfect truck. Let's see what we're looking at today. All right, so we're back at the Winnipeg floodway, or the Red River floodway, as some people call it. Parking lot's a little busier than last time, but that's no surprise because we got a beautiful W900 here in the parking lot. So just a great spot to get pictures, big sky, big green hills, looking great. So this is a brand new truck sold to everybody over at Nederhoed Transport, Nederhoed Transport. So thank you, Dale and family and everybody for purchasing this truck. What a gorgeous setup this is. We did a video on this truck, on a sister truck, cousin truck, whatever you want to call it, about a month or so ago on a day cab, flat back day cab. So this is pretty much a duplicate chassis, very, very similar to the last one that we just did. So we kind of going over some of the same things. It's nice when we can see a consistency between trucks. It's always looking sharp. So looking up front here, this truck was actually lowered a little bit, spacer knocked out of the front end, and the front end dropped just a little bit. The rear shackle was still left on the truck. Sitting on a 245-inch wheelbase, and we have lots of customized stuff done. None of it was done by myself or the shop. It was all done by the customers. So if you're asking questions about modifications, a lot of it I had nothing to do with. So fortunately, I don't have necessarily the answers, but I'll try and explain as best I can. So let's dive into the spec. So sitting up front here, we got the Texas bumper, the stock. They moved the exhaust, they moved the license plate to the center. They got rid of the bracket down in the bottom corner there, and that's covering up the foot hole where you would kind of put it on to open up the front of the truck here, open up the hood. We got the 7 grill bars across the front, so the additional 4 added in at the factory. And this truck is just minty, minty shine. Look at that mirror finish. It's just so clean. It's so clean. JW speaker headlights, heated, and those are on the high beam and the low beam right there, as you can see. This paint color is called Viper Red, and this is also down on the frame rail as well. We got the LED marker light turn signal on the front fender, and then this is unit 5, and look at that metal flake in the vinyl. We got that Kenworth logo looking really sharp there. Up above, we got a 12-gauge visor, and then we have the billet lights up top there with the LED colored lenses looking really, really sharp. Those are 60-inch tailpipes up top there in the 7-inch wide platform. So that looks really sharp, and they just tied nicely together with the exhaust shield there. Up on the air cleaners, we have the 13-inch air cleaners, which is a really cool look, kind of different from what I traditionally do. I normally put the 15 on there, but that is a really nice complement to the truck here. We have the watermelon on the front here with a single light, and then same thing on the back there. So some custom parts were put on there. On the side here, we have no stainless on the side of the hood or on the closer panel. So that is nice and painted. And then the Kenworth bug right on top there. So really sharp. This is a polished battery box, polished end caps. So that's a factory option there. And a big thank you to Rob at Big Truck Detail. You can check him out on Instagram. He polished and shined this truck up pre-delivery, and then the guys over at Nederhoed cranked it up to 1,000 and just went to town on it. So looks sharp. Had the hydraulic split tank here. This was all painted aftermarket. So this is a half hydraulic, half fuel. So you get a nice symmetrical look here. Both fuel tanks line up perfectly. You got the straps lined up perfectly, and then the ends of the fuel tanks lining up perfectly on the back end there. So really sharp. This is the 42-inch modular sleeper. So I say modular because it's not integrated into the cab. When it's integrated into the cab, it's called the aero cab up front and then flat top on the back. So something to learn there. As far as the back of the sleeper here, we have the dark tint window, and then aftermarket, these dual revolution lights. They kind of alternate between red or on a white light there, so you can have a little bit better visibility going back. This truck was mounted rigid on the sleeper, and we have air ride sitting on the cab, so you can do that. You can put air ride on both if you want, but we spec them rigid on the bunk. It's just they're not used as often, but anyhow, just something to keep in mind. You can spec it that way. They installed their own wet kits, so a really nice job done there. Just look at the details, like all of the airline and electrical lines just pulled, lined up at the back there, bungeed down. Just looks really, really minty. It's like when you get a really nice meal and it's plated really nice. My son is really big into doing that, but Dale just does a fantastic job of just getting this truck looking perfect. Merit deck plate on the front here, and also the extension on the back. They left the airline box exactly where it is. The nice thing about the Merit is if you do take this off, you can put this exterior piece on here, and it covers up the unpainted parts underneath the underneath that there. So we also have the Merit step on the side here, so really nice complement to the truck. We got the AG400L suspension, so that's our Kenworth 4-bag air ride on here, and then aftermarket fenders installed, the stainless. I'm not sure the size of those ones there, but they got the nice curled edge there, and that's this polished, and I believe those are from New Line. We got the Durbright rims here with the Dura flange, so you can see there is the Durbright logo right there, and then that flange sticks out just a little bit so that the bead of the tire can sit and not wear out premature. Continental HDR2s on the back. So in Canada, these are one of few tires that we can choose from that have an open shoulder just because of EPA requirements. So that is a very common tire that I would put on a truck now, just with what's configured from the factory, what we can get, and meet emissions. Fifth wheel is a fixed fifth wheel here. It is an FW35. It's got a 9-inch ride height on it, and all painted Viper red to match the cab. On the back end here, we have mud flap hangers, just this standard black rubbers. And then we have the tailboard, and on the back here, this tailboard has the dual revolutions, so those will pop to be white if you're running in reverse, and then they'll just be your turn signals or your brake lights if you're turning those on, and those will be in red. This truck is sitting on disc brakes all the way around, so you can see that kind of down in there. And then there's the backup alarm. Down this side here, we have the DEF tank. So this is the medium-sized DEF tank, 23.8 gallons, and this was painted. And then this chrome cap put on there, the DEF cover, So that's really cool. We have the 7-inch fuel tank straps on the fuel tanks, and then obviously this is a straight fuel with the painted cab, painted the same color as the cab as well. So beautiful. This truck had the driver's side exhaust connected aftermarket, so you can kind of see how that was done vaguely here. Kind of connected all the way across. So that's a really neat way to see a new truck nowadays, because single side cab is basically only connected on the factory build. So it's really cool to have that done after. We have the polished DPF box right in there. So that's the housing the emissions SCR, DPF catalyst all in there. And we have in the bunk vents that are polished and no windows in there. We do have the side window, the back window in the back of the cab. But other than that, just windows up front. So beautiful. What a beautiful day today too. Like the sun is just popping, beautiful weather. Be a great day to just have a fishing rod in my hand. Love this. So let's open up the hood here and I'll show you what's underneath. I really love coming to this spot. It's just kind of very much Manitoba, open prairie. Oh man, I'm gonna pull this hard. Ugh. There we go. Got it. So right here we got the Cummins Performance Series. It is the X15 565 1850 torque rated engine. Very good engine for pulling triaxle or Super Bs, very common in our market here. And it's just a proven engine, just lasts a long time and does the job. Here we have the Davco Fuel water separator, the 382, and that's a heated element on there as well. You got a run aid and a heat aid. We got remote lube terminal right in there. And then here is an air chuck. You've seen this on other builds. Now, looks like the guys changed this fitting out on their own and then put this ball valve in there. So you can air the truck up quick, or if you need to put air into a tire, if you have a flat or something like that, you can do that. So that's just a modification after the fact there. Oil check, we have your power steering, reservoir with filter, coolant up above there, washer fluid right over here, relays, fuses, all in there. Let's go around the other side and check it out. So right here we got some shiny. On here, this shiny is the air filter for the cab. So this is an add-on after the fact. We sell these at our store, and you can just bolt that on. Just put a little bit of extra chrome on it. There's your turbo. We got your accessories up front here, and then you can see also the front end was dropped there. The U-bolts are changed out, and the spacer was removed as well. So it just sits a little bit lower. So there is the disc brakes up front. So let's close up the hood and show you inside the cab and the sleeper. Okay, take my shoes off before we come in. Don't want to dirty up the cab. So inside the cab we have this Bordeaux red color, which is always classic. It's old school, and it's the Diamond VIT. Runs all the way through the cab and into the bunk. I'm just going to turn on this light. It's going to be dark in the back there. Turn on the bunk light as well, and then the interior cab lights. So looking up front here, we have the full gauge package all the way across. So that's how I like to set them up, keep the looking old school. We have regen switch, your PTO, auxiliary lights, so those would be for the air cleaners, air traction control, your tailgate dump switch. There's your hazards. Here is your Jake brakes, cruise control, air suspension dump, and then your full locking four-way diff locks. Down below here, you got this little guy. This is for the information center right up there. There is the heat controls, and then that is your hoist control for the wet kit. Comes standard with an 18-speed manual transmission, And so this is a RTLO 18918, probably one of the last transmissions like that I will be speccing, because Eaton has discontinued the 1850 torque rating 18 speed. It's a 2050 torque rating available only going forward now. So there's some changes happening in the industry. Here are the interior lights. There's the bunk lights to turn those off and on, engine fan, and then this is for the tarp system. And then this here is to control the backup lights there, dual revolution, switch them between the white or the red. Ignition, and then there is the dimmer for the dash. It does come with tilt telescopic, and that is on the floor right here, so that you can set that right down into your lap. And it does come with this beautiful leather wrapped steering wheel. Up above we have the CB radio, and then we have a two-way radio that was installed as well after. There are some exterior driving lights, and then the radio right there. This truck has carpet all throughout, which is a testament to a gravel hauler. Keeping a cab clean with carpet is a task for sure, but these guys just take real pride in their ownership. And these are the Pant Saver floor mats, so they're got the deep ribbing on it so that any sort of water doesn't spill onto the carpet. It just kind of stays in that floor mat. So that's a factory, sorry, that is a Kenworth OEM option that we sell from our store. We got these beautiful vinyl seats here, which are a national seat. We got lumbar supports, and very, very nice setup. Let's take a look in the bunk here. So it does have this old school crawl through, and while we're looking in there, I remember as a kid going underneath. My dad used to have one of these, and we would go underneath the bunk here, my brother and I. Like, it is kind of a tiny fit there, but we both would hang out down there, and sometimes we'd even fall asleep on trips. I just remember that as a kid growing up. It was lots of fun. And then I also remember when we were kids, oh, I'm gonna climb in the back here. I remember when I was a kid, I would roll up in a little ball like this, and as my dad would go around a roundabout or like an overpass with like a big clover leaf, we would roll back and forth, doing somersaults around in the bunk, and what a fun time. Just a really core memory that I remember here. Okay, a little bit more about the truck here, less about me. We got the diamond VIT in the bunk here, and it just looks super classy. I got the little diamond stitching on the side here. We got the button tuck all in the back. We have this additional storage up here. Oh, Dale, you took off the plastic. I love doing that. Just get that open. So there, that's open. And so you got storage in there. And then we have a little vent control there for the bunk heat or air conditioning to pump through it. Little vent on here as well. Emergency hatch. And then on the other side here, we have the vent, emergency hatch. And then up above here, this is where all of the controls are for your fan in the back, your temperature, AC. Turn this light off and on. And we got speakers in the back here as well. So there you have it. All right, so that's it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to me talk about this beautiful truck. Hey, if you are interested in getting in touch with me, if you want to spec or order your own truck, you can go up to my website, thekenworthguy.com, and all the ways to get a hold of me are there: cell phone, email, or other social media platforms. If you're just interested in checking out what I do and what kind of trucks I'm putting out, that's where you can start to find all those great things. Again, a big thank you to Dale and everybody at Nederhoed Transport for purchasing this truck. Just love putting out these beautiful trucks with you guys, and just kudos to you guys in how you guys look after your fleet. It just always looks 110%. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. And also, if you are new to this channel and you want to subscribe, I know I harp on it every single video, but I'd sure encourage you to do that if you haven't done it thus far. It means a lot to me, and it helps me feel like the channel is growing and doing lots of good things. So please do that just by clicking on the link down below. So that's it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have yourself the world's best day.